This Good Morning Northwest Morning Sprint is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's now 6:53, time to get you ready to take on your Thursday with the Morning Sprints.
Sydney Charles telling us about the catastrophic storms across the country.
Mark Peterson with a forecast that'll have you bundling up.
But first, Whitman County SWAT team shot a man after a standoff just south of the WSU campus early this morning. Let's get to Destiny Richards live in Pullman with the very latest.
That's right. Pullman Police Department say that a man in his 30s was threatening to kill his roommates. He also began firing from the apartment. That's when an officer with the Whitman Regional SWAT team shot and killed him. Right now, we still have roads closed in the area while WSP investigates. Main Street closed between Bishop Boulevard and Stadium Way, and all of Southeast Latah Street. That's where the off-campus apartment is completely closed. We'll have live updates during GMA.
Police arrested a second person in connection to two separate robberies in downtown Spokane last week. Officers arrested the 17-year-old for first-degree robbery. Investigators say that first robbery happened at Riverfront Park near the Blue Bridge, where the robbers used a gun. The second happened 30 minutes later on Main Avenue near the P.F. Chang's. In that case, police say they used a knife to threaten the victim.
A Spokane killer's death means a long-held secret likely goes to the grave. In October of '91, these two girls, Rebecca West and Nikki Woods, were kidnapped while walking to a convenience store in West Central Spokane. Hours after they were seen getting into a car, Nikki's body was discovered under a pile of burning pine needles, but Rebecca's body was never found. Michael Tarbert confessed to the killing and served 20 years in prison. He was released in August with his health failing. Spokane County Sheriff's detectives hoped he might reveal the location of West's body, but that revelation never came, and Tarbert died at Providence Sacred Heart on November 26th. You can find more details on this story on our website, KXLY.com.
In our First Alert Weather, and that First Alert Weather app would be phenomenal to have on your personal device. You can download it out of the App Store. We've got, again, low clouds, 23 degrees. We do have some fog in the area, really to the west of Spokane. Downtown looking pretty good. We're going to continue to see some of this dense fog, and it will be on the move a little bit. So, again, taking it easy and allowing for more time for your travel can only help you. We look at the next 12 hours, and we're going to have, again, temperatures into the 20s all day long. Mid-20s, middle of the day. That high today will be 27 degrees. And again, periods of fog throughout the day.
It's now been more than a month since these four University of Idaho students were murdered, and the high-profile nature of the case could impact how it makes its way through the criminal justice system. Moscow police have said from the start, protecting the integrity of the investigation is the key to justice. That's important because if and when a suspect is prosecuted, the court will have its hands full trying to make sure the suspect is given a fair trial. Finding impartial jurors and even finding a location to hold the trial may be a challenge. We continue to follow all updates related to the investigation on KXLY.com, where you can see our coverage.
The Washington Supreme Court will soon rule on a case accusing Value Village of using deceptive marketing practices. Over the last 5 years, the Washington Attorney General has claimed the thrift store chain exaggerated how much the money it gives to charities. One nonprofit that worked with Value Village in 2020 claims the company abruptly dropped them as a partner at the start of the pandemic, saying Value Village takes advantage of consumers believing not only that their items are reused, but that a large portion of the company's profits go to supporting charities.
And more than 40 tornadoes have been reported since Tuesday across Texas, Oklahoma, Mississippi, and Louisiana. The damage to areas around New Orleans is being described as catastrophic after tornadoes slammed Louisiana. These are images from the New Orleans Fire Department showing extensive damage to homes and buildings. At least 4 people have been hospitalized, and authorities say the total number of people killed is now 3. The National Weather Service for New Orleans says storm survey crews are out right now. Officials say please keep that in mind. It takes time to process the results after a storm.
The Federal Reserve has now raised interest rates for the 7th and final time this year. The Fed increased its benchmark rate by ½ percentage point and signaled that more rate hikes ahead to help bring down inflation. Fed policymakers also signaled interest rates will rise more than expected next year.
Spokane County Commissioners voted to add a new tax measure to the ballot this November. Taxpayers will decide whether they want to fund a new jail in Spokane County. The proposal would raise sales taxes by 0.2% and would generate roughly $1 billion over the next 30 years. This vote comes as county officials work to address problems with the current jail, which is often over capacity. We will take one last look at weather within the hour with Mark Peterson right after this quick break.